charity for the pleasure of Allah, the pleasure of Allah. Oh, you who believe, read the Quran every night of Ramadan, night of Ramadan.
Ramadan Mubarak, and you're watching Ramadan Reminders. You know what's happening? The time is going by so quick. Do you realize that we're in the last 10 days of Ramadan? Or at least close enough to it. Where does the time go? It just seems like the other day that I was a little boy, learning how to ride a bicycle. I remember it. I kept falling off. My dad used to come over and try to hold me up on the bike, and then one morning I couldn't get him up out of bed. I wanted him to come hold the bike so I could ride around on it. So I finally tried on my own to ride that bike. And I got it going. I got it balanced. That's the big thing on the bike, isn't it? To balance it. I got it going, and faster and faster. I said, I got it going. Oh, I don't know how to stop it. Bam, right into a fence. But at least I learned how to ride a bike. I just remember it like the other day, And then when I graduated out of school, remember when they threw the hats up in the air and you're like, oh yeah, graduate finally. And when you get married, wow, what an occasion that is. Some people are still paying for that today. But then children come along. Remember when they're first born, and then they start to grow, and then they're going to school, then they're graduating, and they're getting married, and they're having kids, and suddenly I look back and I think, where'd my life go? What happened? And this Ramadan is a way for us to reflect about that and think about it and remind ourselves this life is short, a lot shorter than you think. Just a few seconds. A few nanoseconds out of the time of the universe. And we're in and out. What did Allah say about that in the Quran? About how we come into the world and then what's going to happen next? Allah said in the Quran, you'll find it in Surah Baqarah, chapter 2, if you go by the numbers like I do, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. It's from Allah that we came, and it's Allah that we're going to make the return back to. So we better start getting ready for that. And talking about getting ready, what have you done for Ramadan? What do you have ready? What have you actually been able to put together? What have you accomplished? Have you been going to our website and using the tools that are on there and getting it to send emails back to you? Been using that? I hope so. Because that's what it's all about. But it's not too late. If you've not heard about this, it's okay. Go to the website, and it's called RamadanReminders.com. Sign up and give it your email. Then check off the list. I want to start memorizing more of the Quran, or I want to learn some more hadith, or some adhkar of Allah, remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All of that, just check. And then let our computer take over, and it'll start sending you out what you need and reminding you each day. Of course, we want you to come back to our program here, too, and watch this. This is a Ramadan reminder for sure. But, you can't spend your whole life watching television. And I don't want you to spend your whole life playing on the internet either. What we're trying to do is use this opportunity to get a message across, a wide message to a lot of people around the world about the very importance of this life, the importance of being a Muslim, the importance of this month of Ramadan. Now, I was talking about the passage of time and how quickly it goes. You know that Allah has a way in the Quran that He says, wa, in front of something. It means He's going to swear by it. He says, wa tini wa zaytun wa turi sinin wa hadha baladil amin. And that means that Allah is swearing by the fig. Allah created the figs, and He's swearing by the fig and the olive, and He's swearing by Mount Turisin. That means Mount Sinai, actually. And then He swears by the city made safe. That's Mecca. And He's saying that He swears by all of this because he's gonna tell you something real important. Whenever Allah swears like that, he's going to tell you something really, really important. And he swears that he created the human being in the best shape, the best of molds. That's nice. But guess what else he said about the human beings? And another swearing that he has about time when he says, Wal asr. And I read it to you before, but I'll repeat it again. Wal asr, innal insana lafi khusr. Allah is saying here, he swears by the passage of time. And that's what we're talking about, isn't it? How fast time goes. So quick. But he's saying that he swears by that the human beings are in a state of khusr, of loss, bankruptcy, can't pay up on the day of judgment. All of them. Except for those who come to the right belief and do the deeds of righteousness. وَتَوَاسَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاسَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. And we've mentioned this in other programs, but it doesn't hurt to mention again. They do the deeds of righteousness and they remind each other. And that's what we're talking about, Ramadan reminders. Remind each other about Islam, about Allah, about the things that Islam stands for, and they encourage and exhort each other in this. And also encourage and exhort each other, reminding each other about the sabr. This is a beautiful quality that Muslims have, this forbearing, persevering, being steadfast, hanging in there, not giving up. This all, sabr means so much more than just patient, but hey, patience is in there too, isn't it? One time somebody asked the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, about advice, and he told the man, La tagdab. He said, advise me some more. He said, La tagdab. And more, La tagdab. He's telling, don't get angry. Don't get angry. Don't get angry. Well, we're fasting. If somebody starts to make you angry, they're arguing or fighting with you, you're supposed to say what? I'm fasting. I'm fasting. Did you remember that? We talked about it. Now, when I start putting this together, I realize that the time's going quickly. I'm coming up on the last part of the month of Ramadan. I haven't really achieved all the things I want to do. And guess what else? This is the time when we can make itikaf in the masjid. Itikaf. What is itikaf? Actually, it means in Arabic to stick to something. You know, like you put your chewing gum on the wall or something. Stick. Stick to what? Stick to the masjid. Don't leave. There's some rules about doing itikaf. If you get a chance to look on our website, you can find out more about the itikaf. And here's where you get a chance to go to the masjid or your local, talk to your imam or your local mufti there, and they'll explain to you what they got set up. But you take your change of clothes with you, take your toothbrush, don't forget that, or miswak, and then you're going to stay there. You're going to actually live right there for the next few days, and that's a beautiful thing. Leave all the worldly stuff out of the way. Forget about your cell phone. Well, maybe you could take that with you. But forget about the computer. Forget about the TV. Yeah, I know you won't be able to see our show, but that's okay. I want you to get the reward of staying in the masjid, being close to Allah. But if you're not able to do that, then you could make itikaf here to the TV set and just stay with us until the end of Ramadan. For sure, and I'm teasing a little bit, but for sure, you know what? The best thing you can do is remind each other of the importance of this month of Ramadan and to take benefit from it while you can. Because it's not going to be long, it's going to be over. And guess what else? It's not going to be long till our life's over too, isn't it? So let's do this. Make a commitment right now to stick close to the deen of Allah. And that's maybe the best of the itikaf of all, isn't it? Till next time, don't forget the website, RamadanReminders.com. We'll see you tomorrow. Inshallah.
Oh, you who believe, give charity for the pleasure of Allah, the pleasure of Allah. Oh, you who believe, read the Quran every night of Ramadan, night of Ramadan.